Everybody, looking forward to this chat. When was the last time you were at the Missouri History Museum? Because there is a new exhibit and an event coming up very soon that should certainly pique your interest if you live anywhere close to St. Louis. And if you're watching, I would guess you do. Emily Underwood is the Community Initiative Specialist with the museum, and she has graced us with her presence this morning. How are you?
I'm doing great. How are you?
I'm doing very well. The Mississippi River is kind of the one thing that unites and binds and ties all of us in eastern Missouri and western and southern Illinois together. So I love the idea of this exhibit you call the Mighty Mississippi. Tell me about it.
That's right, Mighty Mississippi. It's an exhibit that includes more than 200 artifacts that tell the story of this really incredibly powerful and important river going back 1,000 years or more. So, and then we're going to be telling a really more recent story on March 15th.
Yeah, and we'll talk about that in a second, but you caught my ear with that artifacts as old as 1,000 years, because I don't want people to misconstrue this and think that this is a very modern history telling of the Mighty Mississippi. We're talking pre-St. Louis.
Absolutely.
Really.
It goes back to the days of Mississippian cultures in the area and brings you all the way up through today, environmental issues, how the community connects with the river. All of that's there.
You mentioned that event coming up on March 15th, and I want you to circle that date on your calendar if you're watching at home, because this is something you're going to want to be a part of. Kind of an evening and some time spent with Eddie Harris.
Yeah.
Explain to us who Eddie Harris is, why we should know that name.
So Eddie Harris grew up in St. Louis. He's a writer, and of course, growing up in St. Louis, he was near the river, and in 1985, he decided to test himself by traveling the length of the entire Mississippi River in a canoe by himself, and he wrote a book about it called Mississippi Solo, which went on to become a sort of classic travel book. And 30 years later, he went back and made a documentary sort of revisiting that experience, and that's the movie we'll be showing.
You can imagine the emotions that must have been coursing through him as he came back to this site where he had been 30 years before. So again, that's coming up on March 15th.
March 15th,
It's a viewing of the documentary and then kind of a panel conversation.
We'll have a documentary. It's a feature-length documentary at 1 o'clock, and then at 3:30, Eddie will be there. He's going to answer questions, talk about his experience, and we'll have copies of his book as well, which he'll be happy to sign.
That'll be a fun event. Again, that's March 15th. River to the Heart. Is that right? River to the Heart.
That's it.
Yes, River to the Heart. It sounds weird when I say it, but River to the Heart with Eddie Harris is March 15th at the Missouri History Museum. The film screening, again, at 1 p.m. with a conversation at 3:30 in the afternoon. For more information, visit mohistory.org and just click on events. Simple as that. And here's a nice bonus for you, Kent and Laura. You got to stick around after Great Day. We're going to continue this conversation in the Bommarito Digital Studio on Great Day Extra Live. That should get underway on our Facebook page at about 10:15. And as I just told our guest, we can take the conversation anywhere it leads. Obviously, we'll focus on the Mighty Mississippi exhibit, but we'll probably squeeze in a few other things.
Thank you, Matt.